Hello everyone, now we have the Rookie Bots final with, so to speak, the 16 best of the 24 user-created bots, and they're all fighting for a chance to get into Season 3. And so let's see who our first fight to begin the Rookie Bots final is between. For our first fight, we have the 7 seed Retrograde versus the 10 seed Brutally Honest. Retrograde finished 3-2, so did Brutally Honest. Retrograde fought in Heat C, and Brutally Honest fought in the first heat of Rookie Bots in Heat A. And so they're both coming from different paths, and one bot is looking to get a win here to go up against Bonk or against Overlord. Let's see who wins this matchup and who has the better ground game down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin. And it looks like a stalemate at the first start of the fight. And now Retrograde gets under. They got the Retrograde. They want to get into Season 3, but they already have a spot in Season 4 because of them playing in the last spot for Season 3 because they lost Titan. And so they'll already get an automatic berth into Season 4, but they want to get in Season 3. But right now, it's Brutally Honest controlling the pace of the fight. Like some brutal shots, but now a stalemate a little bit there, and now it's Retrograde getting under once again. Brutally Honest doesn't have really good any ground game, but they're getting to the side and doing great control. Great shot with that drum spinner, and a beautiful shot that lands one of the forks off of Retrograde, and Retrograde pins Brutally Honest to try to get out of the arena, and they do. This was somewhat of a good fight. It was mostly Retrograde, but Brutally Honest had some great control points, and they got into some stalemates. And Brutally Honest knew what they were doing, getting Retrograde in the screws to try to rigging up that lifter and those forks for them to easily get under, but since they don't have any ground game, that was hard to do, and Retrograde just completely took control and really knew how to win fights with that lifter. Despite the one really good shot Brutally Honest landed, while Retrograde was on the screws, but in the end, it was Retrograde getting the win. Great job by Retrograde. They now move and are the first bot to move into the quarterfinals in the Rookie Bots final. They will either play Bonk or Overlord. Let's see who continues with this round of 16 for the Rookie Bots final. Up next, we have the 4 seed Arcturus and the 13 seed Gold Bar. Arcturus competed in Heat B, and Gold Bar competed in Heat C. So, very different from the last fight. They're both coming from very similar, in somewhat cases, heats. While Arcturus getting to the top of their heat, looking 4-1, while Gold Bar getting the worst end where they go 3-2 of the 3 bots that tied. And so, for Gold Bar, they need to find a way to really somehow win this fight. And so, it's going to be hard for them though, because all Arcturus has to do is point that front towards Gold Bar, and Gold Bar can't do much. So Gold Bar is going to have to find a way to get under Arcturus to do any damage, or to have any shot at winning this fight. So let's see who gets the win down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin in a box rush by Arcturus. Doing a great job of controlling. Like I said, the gold bar needs to find a way to use that spinner to do some damage against Arcturus, or they're gonna have big trouble here in this fight. They're right now going right up that wedge. Arcturus is doing a great job of controlling this fight so far. Almost getting out of the arena there. Doing some great control by Arcturus. Like we've seen before. They know how to control bots. And a great job by them again. And they get a really good lift there. Gold bar's on their back. And the fight is over. Arcturus was way too dominant for Gold Bar to do any damage. They really just box rushed and just got under it again and again with Gold Bar, and Gold Bar never really found a way to take it to the sides, or never really even tried in some senses. But Arcturus did a great job controlling this fight, and eventually threw the 13th seed of Gold Bar out of the arena to get the win. What a win by Arcturus. They now join Retrograde in the quarterfinals of the Rookie Bots final, and they will play in a rematch against Vertigo or against the 12 seed Bear. Up next, we have a rematch in Heat D between the 2 seed Bonk and the 15 seed Overlord. The last time these two fought was in the last heat, and so Bonk took the win there, but Overlord struggled in that fight, and they're hoping to do a lot better. And if they don't even make it past this round, they're probably gonna get a tiny bit of an upgrade. And so they want to win here so that they can prove that they're still a very good functioning bot. They don't want to be one of the lower tiers. For Bonk, they have proven time and time again that they're a top tier, and they're sitting at one of the two bots sitting at 5-0. And so, if they win this fight, they will move to 6-0, and they'll play Retrograde. Let's see who gets the win down in the pits, and who is the lower bot. Let's find out right now. Let the bot battle begin, and looks like Overlord getting under the first exchange, but now Bonk is under once again. Overlord trying to find a way to get under now. They're actually doing some damage, and they get Bonk on their back. Great shot by Overlord, but Bonk gets them on their side like last time. And this is going basically pretty much the same for Overlord. They need to find a way to dominate for this fight more, and they are doing it. So they're finding that they're the lower bot in this fight, like they were not last time. But they need to continue that assault, or they're not going to struggle. And so, now, Bonk puts Overlord in the screws, trying to get them on their back because they know they cannot self-right, which would be great. But they instead throw Overlord out of the arena. Well, this rematch went pretty much like last time, except this time Overlord had some great shots at the beginning, really using those brick separator forks to get under Bonk and put him on their back, even a couple times. But it really didn't last for much longer because Bonk found a way to get under like last time, and it had trouble written all over it. And Bonk eventually threw Overlord out of the arena. Great win by Bonk. They get the win once again against Overlord, and they now join Retrograde and Arcturus in the quarterfinals of the Rookie Bots final. And we already have our first matchup for the quarterfinals of the Rookie Bots final between 2 seed Bonk and the 7 seed Retrograde. But let's see who continues with the round of 16 of the Rookie Bots final. We have a pretty good fight with another rematch in Heat D. The 8 seed Snowstormer versus the 9 seed Skidmark. The last time these two bots fought was last heat, and Snowstormer pretty convincingly took the win against Skidmark. But Skidmark might find easily ways to get under Snowstormer, and all that's all I need to do to get them once on their back, and they win this fight. And so this will be probably a very different fight, like the last one was between Overlord and Bonk. But this might be a different fight in a different way. We'll have to see who is the lower bot, if Snowstormer will win this fight or Skidmark will take revenge. Let's see who gets the win down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin. And it looks like this time it's going to be Skidmark getting under Snowstormer. But now Snowstormer gets under Skidmark. And the fight is over. Well, this fight went exactly like last time, basically. Skidmark had the first shot, but then it was over for Skidmark in the second and third shot of the fight. Snowstormer joins Arcturus, Bonk, and Retrograde in the quarterfinals, and they will play either the 1 seed Omni or the 16th seed Spellbreak. Up next, we have a match between the 3 seed Cloud and the 14 seed Venom. The 3 seed Cloud played in Heat C and went 4-1, while Venom played in Heat B and went 2-3. And so they're both sitting in very opposite positions. Cloud is going to have to use that back wedge a ton in this fight to get under Venom, but if that back wedge is not low enough, it's going to be pure trouble, and it's going to be total domination from Venom, because if that back wedge is not low enough, Cloud can't do anything, and for Venom, all they need is for their forks to be lower. Let's see who will be lower and who will win this fight down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin, and it's looking like it's gonna be, this is not gonna be good for Cloud at all. That back wedge looks like it's out lower already. Yep, that ledge is not touching the ground fully, and Venom's forks are. This is going to be pure domination now by Venom. And Venom now just carrying him around, putting him to wall. Cloud has to find a way to get on the sides to do some damage. That's going to be hard with that back wedge not working. That spinner can do some damage, but that's not going to be enough damage to really take apart Venom. Because Venom can just easily control you. That is their purpose. And if they're trying to put Cloud in the screws, and they do, Cloud is invertible, which is nice. Even though the wheels don't touch, they have a way to drive upside down, which is nice. And if Cloud was not invertible, this would be pure trouble for them, because they would not be able to do. This fight would never be over very fast. So now Cloud is put on their back, and part of that spinner is already gone. That's some points in the damage category for Venom. And Venom is going to have to get getting under, because they can just cause more havoc and maybe more damage to that spinner of Cloud. Venom doing a great job of controlling this fight. Venom knows how to control fights. That's what their purpose is, like I said earlier. And their Cloud's not on their side, but Venom helps him down and puts him back in the screws. Cloud can't do anything. They're just getting fed. They're just getting fed into Venom's wedges, and Cloud can't do nothing about it. Great job by Venom, slotting up more points and more points. Cloud hasn't done anything so far. That needs to change for Cloud if they want to have a chance and Venom puts Cloud back in the screws. Venom taking great control, not worried about ending the fight early, because they can, right now, if that's what to a judge's decision, if it ever did, knockout, they could win this fight, but Cloud is out of the arena. Well, I kind of spoke too soon. Great control by Venom throughout the fight. They really dominated Cloud. And this fight never went to a judge's decision. It was over about 15 seconds before it would have gone to a judge's decision. And so Venom made sure that it was a judge's decision. They got the knockout in very slow fashion though. But they eventually just took control of the fight, putting Cloud in the screws multiple times, putting him on their back a couple of times. And so it landed some great shots with those wedges, and Cloud never found an answer to that front wedge of Venom, and Venom just used that front hinge flipper and caused panic for Cloud the entire fight. Great win by Venom as they move on to the quarterfinals of the Battlebots final. As for Cloud, they don't need any upgrades, they just need to find a way to win in Legends vs. Rookies, which they'll now be in. And Venom, if they can do what they did here, they could easily go pretty far. Great win by Venom. They will play Menace or Extrovert in the quarterfinals, and now we'll see who fights Snowstormer in the quarterfinals between the 1 seed Omni and the 16 seed Spellbreak. Now we have the 1 seed Omni and the 16 seed Spellbreak. Omni went 5-0 in Heat A, and Spellbreak went 2-3 in Heat A, so this is definitely a rematch. And the first time these two fought, Omni completely controlled Spellbreak, but Spellbreak's looking to get revenge on Omni, and if Omni loses his matchup, Bonk will be the only undefeated bot of the 24 user-created bots. And so, for Spellbreak, they want to upset Omni, but Omni wants to continue their run of not having a loss. Let's see if they can do that here against Spellbreak, down in the pits. Let's find out who wins this fight right now. Let the bot battle begin. Looking like Spellbreak is under. Not good for Omni whatsoever. Omni can find a way to get under like they did in their first fight. Omni can use the sides. Great control. They need to find a way to consistently get under Spellbreak, or they're gonna have issues against Spellbreak here. And Omni doing a great job. But now Spellbreak getting under, and Omni gets right back under. Great job there. And rips off one of those forks. Great job by Omni, taking more control. But now Spellbreak is under once again. Can't do nothing with it. Omni doing a great job. Their experience of controlling Spellbreak. They know how to win fights. Spellbreak kinda does, but now both bots kind of got under each other, and now Spellbreak is under and rams them. Omni not doing a great job of getting under consistently, and that's gonna really hurt them as Spellbreak gets them in the screws, leading to that front wedge. This is not good for Omni at all, and they really got under there, couldn't do anything with it. Omni lasting a while was good, but then now they make a bad move, and Spellbreak gets behind them, but now Omni gets them in the screw, getting ready. A great shot Omni trying to take control of this fight. He did last time, but in slow motion. And Spellbreak fighting back though. And the fight is over. What a upset by Spellbreak. This was a back and forth brawl between two machines. Spellbreak looked like they knew how to win fights, except they did not really. And Omni had some great control, breaking off one of those forks of Spellbreak, but Spellbreak had some counter moves and even caught in the back of Omni, landing some great shots. And that experience of Omni didn't really show up throughout the fight, despite them getting the sides a couple times. They didn't really have a lot of control and front to front, and Spellbreak had all the lower ground game in this fight. But what a brawl between two machines, and what a fight this was between Omni and Spellbreak, and great win by Spellbreak. What a win by Spellbreak. They now join Snowstormer, Arcturus, Venom, Retrograde, and Bonk in the quarterfinals. Let's see a fight between the 6th seed Menace and the 11th seed Extrovert. Now we have the 6th seed Menace and the 11th seed Extrovert. Well, one of the flippers of the 24 user-created bots is already going to go out, because they both play each other in this fight. Menace played in Heat A, and Extrovert played in Heat B. The very early heats these bots were in, and so for Menace, they just need to use those less fortunate forks they have to get under, or that back wedge they have. And for Extrovert, they just need it under once, because they have a flipper that never really breaks due to how it was built. And so Extrovert just needs to get under once, and they can really cause havoc for the 6th seed Menace. Let's see who can get the win and who comes out victorious in the battle of the flippers. Let's find out how this fight goes down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin. No bot's getting under yet, and looking like kind of a stalemate so far. And now Extrovert goes under continuously, and really goes under. They are now causing havoc for Menace here. Menace is getting back on their feet, but they cannot. And the fight's almost over, and the fight is over. Menace never got back on their feet after that first flip. Extrovert landed continuous flips against Menace, and Menace never found a way to respond. But what a great win by Extrovert to move on to the quarterfinals. Great win by Extrovert. They now play Venom in the quarterfinals. Now let's see our last match for the quarterfinal, for the round of 16 between 5 seed Vertigo and the 12 seed Bear. Now we have a fight between the 5 seed Vertigo and the 12 seed Bear. This is supposed to be the best match on paper, and so for Vertigo, they need to find a way to get under Bear, because Bear has that front low wedge, so they can just grab Vertigo and just drag him around. But Vertigo needs to find a way to use those front and that back wedge to get under, and so this is going to be a very interesting fight, to say the least. But let's see how it goes down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin, and the Bear goes under and grabs Vertigo. Vertigo needs to find a way to that back wedge, and they do. It's not lower though. Bear getting under continuously now. Not good. for Vertigo. And Bear got him again. Bear continuously get under them and now puts Vertigo in the screws. Trouble for Vertigo already in this fight. Bear needs to find a way. And Vertigo now getting under. This is good job by Vertigo. Now putting Bear on their side and getting some nice shots here with that vertical drum spinner. And Bear needs to find a way to get back on their feet. They cannot. These are the continuous attacks by Vertigo here. Great control. This is what the Vertigo needed. Bear needs to find a way to get back in it, and they do with a very good counter attack, putting Vertigo on the screws. What a great fight so far this has been. Vertigo is getting to the side of Bear, putting it back in the screws. What continuous attacks by both teams. And they really get under there. They don't need that back wedge. There is no way to get under that front wedge, and they almost get Bear out of the arena, and the fight is over. Bear started this fight out getting under Vertigo and landing some great grabs and putting Vertigo in the screws, but Vertigo found a way to get under Bear and really caused havoc and never really let Bear get back on their feet except for a couple of times. And Vertigo just knew how to win more fights than Bear did, because Bear was not used to having control at the first start of it, but then not having control. And so this might be very new for Bear, but Vertigo really controlled this fight late and eventually threw Bear out of the arena and got the win. Great win by Vertigo, as they are the last spot to get into the quarterfinals. Now our quarterfinals are set. 16 seed Spellbreak versus the 8 seed Snowstormer, 4 seed Arcturus versus the 5 seed Vertigo, the 2 seed Bonk versus the 7 seed Retrograde, the 14 seed Venom versus the 11 seed Extrovert. Let's see who begins with our first quarterfinal match. Now we have the 8 seed Snowstormer versus the 16 seed Spellbreak. The 8 seed Snowstormer beat Skidmark in a rematch, and the 16 seed Spellbreak beat Omni in a rematch, which they lost last time. So now both bots are sitting in the quarterfinals, where one bot can only get to the semifinals if they win this fight. And for Spellbreak, they don't have the upper advantage because they only have 2 wider forks, and the Snowstormer has a very powerful weapon and possibly has a lower ground game, where it's going to be an issue for Spellbreak if they want to have a chance to win this fight. But this fight, as most fights do, will come down to ground game and who has the better weapon and who can get under who. Let's find out who wins this fight down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin. Great job by Snowstorm at the start of this fight, already getting under Spellbreak, trying to begin those forks. But Spellbreak is under and rams them towards the wall. Great job by Spellbreak. Look, they're the lower bot in this fight so far. They can get up, they can win against Snowstormer here. Spellbreak doing a great job so far, but Snowstormer finding ways to get under when it counts. But Spellbreak doing a good job with that front hinge flipper now. Trying to get Snowstormer out of the arena, not really working though. Spellbreak might have to find a different way to win this fight. But so far what they've been doing is it has been working. But now Snowstormer goes in the back and really gets Spellbreak in the screws. It doesn't really do much on Spellbreak, because Spellbreak is still the lower bot. But now they go to the side and put them in the screws again. They are out driving Spellbreak, and their experience somewhat is paying off. And great job by Snowstormer again. And they really jump up the forks now, getting a giant hit. And now they really have those forks spent up, and that front chassis is completely gone. And this fight will be over. That front drive and that front area of Spellbreak is gone. Countdown has begun, and Snowstormer will walk away with a win. Great job by Snowstormer. Spellbreak dominated early in this fight, getting under in every exchange. They really got under, and they threw Snowstormer towards the wall multiple times. Snowstormer couldn't do anything about it. Snowstormer outdrove them though, and that experience of having more wins of winning, they knew how to win more often than Spellbreak did. And so it really paid off for Snowstormer, and got a very big shot to the side, and was really bent on those forks on Spellbreak, and eventually threw half of Spellbreak out of the arena and waited for the countdown to begin, and then got the win as they move on to the semifinals. Great win by Snowstormer. What a fight to kick off the quarterfinals. Great win by Snowstormer as they take down Spellbreak. And now we will have to see who our next fight is between to continue the quarterfinals of the Rookie Bots Final. Up next, we have the 2-seed Bonk facing up against the 7-seed Retrograde. Bonk is the only undefeated bot from the 24 user-created machines that's left since Omni lost to Spellbreak in the round of 16. So Bonk is looking to keep their winning streak alive and not go out next and get their first loss again against Retrograde. But it's going to be hard for them to get a loss here against Retrograde, because Retrograde, except maybe they can get behind Bonk or something, but Bonk should have the lower ground game here. It's going to be very tough for Retrograde to find a way to get under. But we have seen Retrograde win in tough fights before. Maybe they could do it here. Let's see who gets the win down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin, and what a box rush by Bonk. Bonk completely getting under them. I believe we were ripping up one of the forks. No, they did not yet, but now Retrograde gets under. Great job by Retrograde. And Retrograde finding a little bit ways to get under, but there goes that back holder piece for a spinner, where now they can't sit up on that, using that horizontal spinner back there, but they never do, so it doesn't matter. But now there goes one of the forks of Retrograde. That's pretty big for Bonk. Bonk has it now with a jaw now, that hammer it on the jaw. They are controlling Retrograde. Now got the other fork. Retrograde is in complete not chance mode, and Bonk throws him out of the arena. Bonk completely just box rushed Retrograde from the start, and they knew they were the lower bot. Except for one exchange where Retrograde got under, it was all Bonk. They got under and rammed them and really took control, ripping off both those forks. And then eventually throwing Retrograde out of the arena. Great win by Bonk. They now join Snowstormer in the semifinals. And now we will have to see a fight between the 11-seed Extrovert and the 14-seed Venom. Now we have the first rematch of the quarterfinals between the 11-seed Extrovert and the 14-seed Venom. Extrovert, the first time these two fought back in Heat B, Extrovert took the win pretty convincingly with that, throwing Venom out of the arena with that flipper. But Venom has had a couple wins since then, so they kind of know what it takes to beat Extrovert, hopefully, this time. And so Venom is looking for some revenge again here against Extrovert. And if Extrovert or Venom wins this fight, they will play Bonk in the semifinals. So that's going to be a very tough task for both of these teams, but they're trying to look they're both trying not to look past here yet. So they still got a tough match for both of these machines, for Venom and Extrovert. Let's see who gets the win down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin. Looking like Venom is getting under. Kind of how this fight last time started. Venom getting under again. They have the lower bot so far. Extrovert trying to wedge that left flipper in between those wedges. Not really working so far. Now Venom puts Extrovert in the screws. Extrovert has to find a way to get under like last time they did. Late in the fight. So far Venom is not letting that happen. Landing a great shot to Extrovert. Extrovert having a tough time. Venom get under and land their first flip. And a second. They're already starting to bend up those forks of Venom. Very good job there. They have to continue to get under. Now they are. And a third flip by Extrovert. What a great job by Extrovert so far, as all those front wedges are gone for that flipper. Now they hit the base, and they get under Venom again, and with some continuous flips. Great job by Extrovert so far. And there goes the front hinge flipper of Venom. This is not good. Venom can now not really self-right. This is going to be very tough for Venom. Trying to stay on their feet and stay composed. But now Extrovert puts Venom in the screws. Venom trying to stay in this fight. They are losing the battle now. The ground game battle too. And continuous flips, and the fight's over. What a fight this was. Venom got under early of Extrovert and really carried him and put on the screws a couple of times. But like last time, Extrovert found a way to get under those forks and really landed at least 4 to 5 flips. I remember at least. And they started to bend up those forks of Venom, which really, in the end, did not really help Venom whatsoever. And Extrovert took another win against Venom, and Venom did not get their revenge whatsoever, once at all. And Extrovert just kept attacking with that front, because they knew they would eventually get under. And that front hinge flipper eventually came off of Venom, which means they couldn't land it on their back. And Extrovert eventually also threw Venom out of the arena for the win. Great win by Extrovert as they move into the quarterfinals and join Snowstormer and Bonk. They will play Bonk in the semifinals. But now for our last matchup in the quarterfinals, we have the 4-seed Arcturus versus the 5-seed Vertigo. Now we have another rematch between the 4-seed Arcturus and the 5-seed Vertigo. You probably don't remember this fight before. It was early in Heat B, one of the first 3 fights of the Heat, where Arcturus convincingly took the win. And so they're both sitting at very same records, because Vertigo's only loss is to Arcturus, and Arcturus' only loss is to Venom. And so for Arcturus, they want to get another win here against Vertigo. And the last time they fought, Arcturus really dominantly took Vertigo down, but Vertigo is looking to change that this time and really try to get under that lifter or go to the sides and outdrive them. That's going to be hard to do, because if Arcturus keeps that front pointed at you, they could easily win this fight. Let's see who gets the win and who has the lower bot down in the pits. Let's head over there right now for this rematch. Let the bot battle begin. Looking like Arcturus is getting under just like last time. Vertigo has to find a way to get under. So far they are not. They are not the lower bot. Like we expected. That back wedge is not lowered either. But now they get under that back wedge. Arcturus makes a mistake and they put Vertigo puts Arcturus in the screws. This is going from very opposite from last time. And Vertigo getting under again. This is a very different fight from last time. And Arcturus now gets under and trying to put Vertigo in the screws does not work. And Vertigo is outdriving them so far, putting Arcturus in the screws once again. Trying to weaken up that front wedge. So far it's working. Getting the side again. Pins Arcturus. And they got under that front wedge again. This is not going good for Arcturus at all. And Arcturus is flipped over. That part of that chassis that flipped over is flipped over. And Vertigo taking full control. Arcturus putting it under, but they're making more and more mistakes as this fight goes on. Not good for the lifter. And Vertigo gets almost Arcturus out of the arena. What a back and forth brawl this is between two machines in a rematch. Arcturus getting under Vertigo once again, trying to throw him out of the arena. They cannot. And they got under Vertigo again. Vertigo can get back to the side of Arcturus, put him in the screws once again, and the fight is over. Knockout. I don't think most of us expected the intensity of this rematch. Vertigo made almost none mistakes, and Arcturus made all the mistakes they possibly could in this fight to lose it. And Vertigo was on the lower bot at first, but they found ways to get under that wedge, put Arcturus in the screws, and take full control. They really outdrove Arcturus in this fight a lot more than last fight, and they knew what they wanted to do, and they really stapled it in this fight, and they got the revenge they really wanted, and they almost eventually also threw Arcturus out of the arena. And Arcturus had no shot really, except for a few good lifts. And Vertigo put it back in the screws and then threw Arcturus out of the arena. What a rematch that was between Arcturus and Vertigo. Vertigo now moves on to the quarterfinals and joins Snowstormer, Bonk, and Extrovert. And they will play Snowstormer in the semifinals. Let's see who begins with the first semifinal match. First up, we have the 2-seed Bonk versus the 11-seed Extrovert. Bonk is sitting at 7-0, the only undefeated bot, like I said before, since Omni lost in the first round of the Rookie Bots final. And so for Extrovert, they've already had 2 losses, so they don't feel like to lose, and they want to give Bonk their first loss, because Bonk has not been humbled whatsoever yet. And if Bonk wins 2 more fights here, they will be tied for the best rookie ever in Lego Mayhem Robotics, which was obviously the first bot that won, which was Undertaker, that was sitting at 9-0. Then they lost, and so they would be sitting at tied with them if they won this fight and then the final fight. But Extrovert does not want that to happen, and they want to be the lower bot. Let's see who has the battleground game, and if Extrovert can flip Bonk, or Bonk will control this fight down in the arena. I meant down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin. Bonk already getting under, putting Extrovert in the screws. Great job by Bonk. And Bonk now gets under. Okay, lands our first flip. Not really any big flips though. That was probably the best flip so far. Now Bonk gets right back under, puts Extrovert right back in the screws. Bonk trying to take full control of this fight, doing those forks weak. And the fight's over. Well, okay. Extrovert landed a flip or two, but nothing big. And Bonk got right back under and put him in the screws. And then eventually threw Extrovert out of the arena to advance to the finals. Awesome win by Bonk. They now advance to the finals. And our next fight to end out the semifinals is between the 8th seed Snowstormer and the 5 seed Vertigo. Now we have the 5 seed Vertigo versus the 8 seed Snowstormer. 5 seed Vertigo just beat 4 seed Arcturus in a very intense rematch, and Snowstormer just took down Spellbreak, and so they're coming from very different fights in a sense. So this will be very interesting too, because Vertigo only had 1 loss and Snowstormer only had 2. So one bot will definitely get a 2nd or 3rd loss. And also the loser of this fight will go to Legends versus Rookies to compete for season 4 or 5. And the winner will go to the Rookie Bots final for a chance at season 3. Because there's no 3rd place matchup for the Rookie Bots final. And so this will be a very interesting fight, to say the least. Let's see who gets the win and who has the battleground game down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin. Great shot by Snowstormer to begin this fight. And now Vertigo gets under, putting Snowstormer in the screws. So far, a great fight. But now Snowstormer gets under again, lands another great shot. And there goes a piece from, I believe, Vertigo. That's not good. And a great shot by Snowstormer once again. And almost out of the arena goes Vertigo, and the fight's over. Well, I guess that's it. This fight didn't need to last long. Snowstormer got the first exchange, Vertigo got the second, and then it was all Snowstormer getting some great shots and almost throwing Vertigo out of the arena on the second to last shot of the fight, and throwing him out of the arena on the last shot to advance to the Rookie Bots final. Who would have predicted this? The 8th seed Snowstormer versus the 2 seed Bonk in the Rookie Bots final. Wow. Now let's see who gets the win and has a chance at season 3 between these 2 machines. Who would have predicted this? We have the 2 seed Bonk versus the 8 seed Snowstormer in a rematch. The two Bonk and Snowstormer first fought in Heat D, and Bonk very convincingly took the win. But this is going to be probably a very different fight, because they're both very hungry to have a chance at season 3, and so only one Bonk can get there though. And so I knew this. I had a feeling that these 2 bots will become a rivalry, and so this might, if Snowstormer wins this fight, this could easily become another fight in a different season between these 2 bots again. Let's see of this fight who gets the win down in the pits. Let's head over there right now for this Rookie Bots final. Let the bot battle begin. And a great shot by Snowstormer to kick this fight off. Great shot by Bonk to counter it. And so far this has been a good matchup. Let's see if it can continue that way. Great shot. Kind of small jab there by Snowstormer. And another nice big jab there though. That was one of the cheese-filled wedges of Bonk. This is not a good start for Bonk. They need to find a way to get under like last time. I think that part of that spinner of Snowstormer is gone. That's going to play a huge role in this fight. And Bonk getting under, trying to throw Snowstormer out of the arena. So it looks like that weapon of Snowstormer is still working, leaving all those pieces that are off. And great job by Snowstormer getting under. And now Bonk is under, trying to throw Snowstormer out of the arena and does not work. So far this match has been driven with final intensity, with both these bots wanting it. And Bonk is under once again. And a nice job, and the fight's
knockout
over. What a fight this was between two machines. Bonk had some great shots, but so did Snowstormer. They got under on some really good occasions, breaking out a couple of those cheese club wedges of Bonk. And Bonk, for some of this fight, was on the back foot, but they found a way to get under Snowstormer like last time, and they used that against Snowstormer and really use that hammer to work as kind of a lifter in a sense. And Snowstormer couldn't really do anything about it like last time they couldn't. And so it ended up being a really good fight though. But Bonk really did what they needed to do and eventually took home the win to claim the Rookie Bots final and have a shot at Season 3. Great job by Bonk. The next episode on this channel, you will see the 12th seed in the Desperado tournament, Titanic, battle for his life against Bonk. If Titanic loses to Bonk, they will be scrapped and no longer compete on this channel. And if Bonk loses, they will not have a chance at Season 3. And they will have to fight to get into Season 4 or 5 in Legends vs. Rookies. See you in the next one. Bye!